that's where Maple Mountain will take over.
Maple Mountain only had the opportunity to be in the Skyview end of the field once and gave it up on a 17-yard sack.
Maple Mountain first down on their own 13-yard line.
Coach Burtonshaw, you got to be working on your kid's psyche right now. What can you do when you're up against the wall and you're having a difficult time getting anything going? That's where a head high school coach earns his money, which is not very much.
They had trouble that first year. First year, it's a 4-year school. It's only been in existence 4 years, but then they've made the playoffs every year since. 9-1 last year. And here's the pitch to the outside to Ellis. Ellis, big yardage. He stays in bounds. No, steps out of bounds near the 20-yard line, 30-yard line. They say he stepped out of bounds at about the 27, 15 yards.
Point Fife lucky to get him out of bounds. He was had a head of steam and just gave him a shove. You got to wrap up. That would have been 6. Take a look at the end of this play.
He's the last one if he doesn't get him.
Did you see Ellis run upfield? He just comes through and gives him a shove, and he almost tiptoes the line. And that's the chance you don't want to take if you're the last man standing.
Throwing the out, and it's a little bit wide of the intended target, Jared Flake, and Hall had to get rid of that one because Skyview was bringing pressure.
2nd and 10. On the coverage there, number 4, Levi Hammer.
Now, Logan beat Cottonwood last night, 24-7. And they did not play all that well, turned the ball over a lot. Logan may be a force to be reckoned with in this region. Go figure.
Yeah.
Ellis in trouble. Down he goes, loses yardage. I mean, he was in big trouble right from the start. He loses 6 yards.
Ball popped out, but it was after the man was down.
So it's 3rd down for Maple Mountain. They are 0 for on 3rd down, and it's 3rd and about 16.
Brings up a 3rd and 16.
They're just not going to convert a lot of 3rd downs when they're 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 16.
They've really only gotten to the edge once, and that was a couple of plays ago with Ellis. And they're not pushing the ball down the field in their throwing game. It's because Hall hasn't had much time to set up and throw. Hall with the completion there, gain of 3 down to Williams, but they needed 16.
Really impressed with Skyview's defense. Their lateral ability is fantastic. They are fast sideline to sideline.
Under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Skyview in control, and they're going to get the ball back. As we mentioned, they have started every one of their drives in Maple Mountain territory, and there's a good chance that they'll start another one in Maple Mountain territory. Because Woods back to kick at his own 11. Nope, nothing doing.
Good coverage by Maple Mountain.
That was Fife and Skyview with their worst starting field position of the night at the 44. Their own 44.
Wrapped up by number 51, Jordan O'Connell.
So 5:40 to go in the half now. Skyview up 24-0. Really like to see a little more consistency out of the Skyview offense. They've done a better job establishing the run, but you know, it's hard to say that you're being inconsistent in your passing game, 3 of 5 for 3 touchdowns, but they probably need to work that into their game plan a little bit here.
No, there's 35 yards on the ground for Skyview. 13 carries for 35 yards.
Most of those came on that last drive.
Yeah, Maple Mountain's done a good job defending the run, that's for sure. Goddard is going to keep this one.
And that's got a first down.
That's the first time on that zone read option that he's kept. And he did get a first down.
You know, that's probably what the coaches were telling him. You got to keep that now and then, so it'll open up the lane for Dana Anderson or whoever happens to be back there.
Nope, they're going to say he was just short.
Well, he started the slide there, and you got to.
That's true.
Down where he starts the slide.
He gives it off this time to Smith. And Smith lost a yard on his first carry, and he picks up 7 on that one. And it's a first down for the Bobcats. 5 minutes to play in the half. Skyview on top, 24-0, and looking for more. Four wide receivers for the Bobcats. Fife in motion. They're going to give it to Smith. Anderson on the sideline. Smith in the backfield. And Anderson comes back on. Smith picks up about a yard.
You know, this is one of the biggest Skyview offensive lines I've seen in a long time. 265, 260, 275, 280, and 255.
Well, and they're tall too. They look athletic. They're not just a bunch of,
Yeah, you can say it. I used to be one of
porky
those.
table munchers. Hello, I'm Porky Table Muncher. I keep food under my folds. There's the option back to Anderson. Anderson puts his shoulder down, and he's down near the 30-yard line. He's going to be 2 yards shy of a first down. Picked up 7.
Not something we've seen very much tonight, the outside pitch to Dane Anderson. He's got good speed on the edge. Might be using that a little bit more.
There's an interesting score for you, and we know you're watching this on probably on the web at thevalleychannel.com or on tape delay, but
So really,
Timpview is losing tonight.
So really you're just telling me, because I'd like to know.
Pleasant Grove is beating Timpview 21-7.
Oh.
We'll keep our eye on that one.
Fantastic.
Mountain Crest is at American Fork tonight. Here's the give again to Anderson, right up the middle. He pushes forward, and it'll depend on the spot. Looks like he's going to be right at the marker. He needed the 20, just short of the 29, and it looks like he gets the 29 and a first down.
Yep, they're moving the sticks.
Clock runs, approaching 3 minutes to play in the half. A beautiful Cache Valley evening. The last weekend in August. Thank you, good riddance, August.
I like August because after August comes fall and then winter.
McCray has blockers. There's a flag, so it may be coming back. He's down inside the 15-yard line, and the flag back at the 20. I think he might have had an illegal block in the back. Let's take a look.
He was tackled out of bounds by the Golden Eagles number 29, Cannon Minor.
Really not a lot of penalties on either team tonight.
That'd be the first one on
two?
Skyview,
Yeah.
holding. 2 on Maple Mountain, and that's the first on Skyview. Another game kind of keeping our eye on is Highland and Syracuse. Syracuse plays Mountain Crest next week, and we'll have that game for you. And that's a 5A power against a 4A power. And Highland is, everybody's talking about Timpview, but
Highland's pretty good.
Pretty dang good, and they put a smackdown on Mountain Crest last week. Highland beating that 5A Timpview right now, or excuse me, Syracuse right now. They are big and they are fast, and you're going to hear more about them before the year is over. Oh, Goddard is looking for a man. He didn't even see the receiver, and there's a flag out there, maybe offensive pass interference.
Oh, I don't really like that call. Looked like he was right there.
He came over the back of the defender, and we'll watch. You watch it, Lee, while I watch for the call.
I will. Goddard's in trouble, and he just kind of hops and tries to throw that Brett Favre style.
Ooh.
I think he's got his back right hand wrapped around the defender before the ball gets there, and that's where the call comes from. His offhand, his left hand is there in time, but his back right hand is wrapped around.
It's 15 yards. It's no longer a loss of down.
This is a 15-yard penalty. No loss of down.
So it's still first down, but now it's first down in what, 25?
25, yeah. They've got to get down to the 19, just inside the 20-yard line. They're back at the 44. .239 to play. First and 25 for Skyview. The first 2 penalties of the game are big ones. Goddard has all day. Now he breaks the pocket. And he picks up 3.
Daxton Goddard on the carry.
3 carries, 16 yards for Goddard.
He's got all day, but the coverage is great downfield. You can't find anywhere, and finally his pass protection breaks down and scrambles to get just 3 yards, and lucky to get that.
You got to give his offensive line some props. They kept him.
Yeah.
They've kept him pretty clean, and they kept him safe for quite a while on that play. 2nd and 22 to the sideline. He's got a man. It looks like it's complete out there to Evans.
You just don't have that many plays in your playbook for a 3rd down and 17 still?
Yep. 6-yard gain. It's 3rd down, and as you mentioned, about 17. And the first non-touchdown completion of the game for Goddard.
Very disappointing.
He's 4 of 6, 86 yards, 3 touchdowns. 3rd and forever. Goddard steps up, spins out of trouble. Doing his best Chucky Keaton impression. Finds a man down at the 25. And it's going to be 6 yards short of the first down, but he picks up a good chunk, picks up about 12.
But this is that weird no man's land. You're not going to be able to attempt a field goal. That's too deep for their kicker, and it's weird punting, and there's only 1:51 to go. So I got to think that they might go for it.
Now the kicker's heading out there. As you take a look at Goddard.
Well, he did look a little bit like Chucky Keaton, scrambling and run around and finding the open man. That's a great individual play, and he was under pressure from the get-go there.
42? Yep.
That's a long field goal, especially for this kicker style.
He's got the leg. It looks good. It is good.
Great kick.
So with 1:47 to play in the half, the 42-yard field goal is good, and Skyview extends the lead 27-0.
Howdy you, old grist mill. Old Grist Mill Bread Company, Ogden, Brigham, Logan.
Well, you see it creep over the crossbar there, a 42-yard kick. And it had enough. It was good. And Skyview now has scored on all but one possession, 27-0 over Maple Mountain. This one angled toward the sidelines. It's going to go out of bounds, and Maple Mountain will get pretty decent field position out of this one. We were talking about that kick in the break. He's a toe kicker.
Yeah, and
he doesn't swing through it like the soccer style.
That's why I was a little concerned about them taking that kick, but he did a great job. Had plenty of leg and right down the middle.
So out at the 35-yard line is where Maple Mountain takes over, and desperate to get something going in a first half that they've been able to pick off Braxton Goddard a couple of times, but other than that, they've had all sorts of trouble. They have 8 yards rushing, 17 yards total. That's 25 total yards of offense from Maple Mountain. This is a team that was 9-1 last year in a tough region.
And they put 21 on Woods Cross last week, which is a good team.
Hall pulls it down. He's in trouble, and down he goes. And it's Christensen with his second sack.
Half a sack to Ben Watine. I guess I don't know how to say that last name. Number 62.
So a loss of 8 for Hall. And the clock continues to run. Four wide receivers. One deep safety for Skyview. Again, and give it off to Connor Ellis. And Ellis puts his head down, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Wow.
there really hasn't been a lot of running room for either team. But especially the Skyview front has really bottled up Maple Mountain's run game. And again, we mentioned 5 starters back for Maple Mountain on their offense, 4 on their defense, but they lost most of their line on both sides of the ball. And it takes a line a little bit of time playing together to get going. And if you're going against a pretty quick and stout defense like Skyview, you don't have much time to do that. Hall throws the little screen out there to Maffei. Maffei makes the first man miss. Down he goes, the clock runs, and that'll probably be the last play of the half. It's a pickup of 7, and Skyview will head to the locker room with a 27-0 lead over Maple Mountain.
Here at Lewiston State Bank, we offer lots of different loan products to meet your needs. We're happy to work with you and hope that you would enjoy working with us.
We had to take out an automobile loan, and so we came into Lewiston State Bank, and she was so good. She worked with me really, really well.
We are proud to have been serving our customers for over 100 years with personalized, friendly service. Please come in and meet your new friends at Lewiston State Bank.
27-0 our score here at the half, and getting ready to start the second half. We'll hear from one of the coaches here in just a minute, but I mean the score indicates the level of domination by Skyview here in this first half. Offensively and defensively, they have dominated this game. Skyview only giving up 24 total yards in that first half, 0 yards rushing, 24 yards passing by Maple Mountain. Connor Ellis, 10 carries for 14 yards. Jaron Hall, 3 for -14. He was sacked twice for a couple of big losses. Hall was 5 of 13 for 24 yards through the air. 3 catches for 14 yards for Williams. Maffei 2 for 10 for Maple Mountain. For Skyview, the numbers are looking a little bit better. 64 yards on the ground, 98 through the air, 162 total yards for the Bobcats. 10 carries, 33 yards for Anderson. Goddard, 3 carries for 16 yards. Fife, he was 2 carries, -2 yards. Evans, 1 for 10. Smith, 3 for 7. Goddard, not many throws, only 7 throws, 5 of 7 through the air, 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. He threw a touchdown to Miller, Coombs, and McCray. Martin and Evans also caught a pass for the Bobcats. Miller's touchdown grab was 28 yards, Coombs was 37, and McCray was 15. Again, Skyview with 2 quarterback sacks. Maple Mountain did not pull Goddard down for a loss. 2 penalties for Skyview, 2 for Maple Mountain, and a 42-yard field goal with 1:47 to play in the first half by Skyview to go along, and then a shorter field goal there in the first period to get on the board first for the Bobcats. After the punt attempt, the snap went over the punter's head. Skyview took over at the 6, and they weren't able to do anything with it, but they did end up with the field goal. Lee Vaughn is waiting for Coach Anders. The teams are both out on the field. And one thing to watch for Skyview, they had a couple of players leave with some injuries, and that's been a concern early in this season for them. They played without some players early, and another concern, Braxton Goddard has thrown 2 interceptions on 7 pass attempts. So you can't feel too great about that, even with the 3 touchdowns. Coach Anders with Coach Lee Vaughn. Let's go down to the sideline.
Coach,
great first half from your kids. Offense, a lot of points on the board. Defense, fantastic, but there's still some things to work on. What'd you tell them?
Just that. We got to work on some things. Offense, we need to do a better job sustaining some drives. Yeah, we put up a lot of points, but that's really because our defense has been playing phenomenal. We've had short fields to work with, so we got to come out and put together some drives. That's our goal right now.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back to you, Eric Olson.
All right, thanks, Lee. The coach changed his shirt. No wonder he had trouble finding him. Hey, the game of the week on the Valley Channel so far is a 27-0 thumping by Skyview, and it's brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. The Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Premier Apartment Homes. Live, work, play, and celebrate. ER Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Alpine Cleaning and Restoration Specialists. We respond, we restore, you relax. The Logo Shop. We logo stuff. All kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. 27-0 Skyview leading Maple Mountain at the half. So a lot of highlights in the first half for Skyview. This is one of them on third down. A 29-yard touchdown pass from Goddard to Miller. That was the first touchdown of the game. Throw right on the money, and Miller going up there and making the grab. Really making the play there was Miller. Maple Mountain kicking off for the first time. McCray has trouble fielding that, and then able to work his way up to about the 29-yard line, and that's where Skyview will start. Their worst starting field position of the game. They spent most of the game at the Maple Mountain half of the field. They have 27 points to show for it.
Well, you heard Coach Ender talk about wanting to have some sustained drives. Got to have a little longer field.
Got to have a field to sustain a drive, exactly. Did you see the the Iraqi professors down there visiting from Iraq?
I met them before the game.
Did you go over there and give them a primer on?
Well, I did ask them if they'd ever seen football live before, and they had not.
This is their first.
Just on TV. I said, well, this is more fun.
Live game, that's right.
Come to it, then go home and watch it on TV or online.
Anderson loses a yard. And they give up the middle.
Brings up a 2nd and 10.
And it's 2nd down and 11. Goddard underneath. Finds his receiver. It's Fife. Fife out to about the 32-yard line. A 4-yard gain. It brings up 3rd down. Fife's first grab of the game as we take another look.
Goddard finding those passing lanes between his tall offensive line.
Goddard, nice pocket over the middle, finds his man, it's Fife. Don't know how that ball got there, but it did. He's up to near midfield to the 49-yard line. It's a 16-yard strike on 3rd down.
Boy, that's a great pass, and you're right, that almost surprised everybody except Fife and Goddard. A lot of time, good protection. And rifles it between two defenders.
Golden Eagles looking like they might bring a linebacker. No, they're only bringing 4. Fife touches the ball again. gets around the far end and picks up about 7 yards. Let's see 8 where they spot him. Skyview in control of this game, but they can really put their foot on the accelerator with a score here and put it away early.
Well, I jokingly said to Coach Christensen on the sidelines, I was coming back up, I said, hey, take it easy, Coach. He's like, no way. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. I said, what about the fat TV guys? We're not singing, forget it.
There's a give to Anderson. Anderson with a hole. Anderson bulls his way forward. Down to the 33, 10 yards for Anderson.
Well, last week against Timpview, Skyview only rushed the ball with 2 different ball carriers, Anderson and Goddard, for 86 and 69 yards respectively, and we're starting to see a little more Fife, a little more Anderson, and there's a good run as well. There's Anderson, his helmet comes off, he's going to have to go out for a play.
8 yards that time for Anderson. So they are gashing some big holes in that Maple Mountain front. They really weren't able to run the ball all that well in the first half. 64 yards rushing.
Yeah, but it came on a lot of short runs. They ran the ball a lot in that first half.
9 yards was their, well, they had a 9-yarder and a 10-yarder. And everything else was 6 and under.
You know what we didn't get before this game? We'll talk about after this play.
Oh, that's that little end around, that little fly sweep. It's McRae, and he's hit way out of bounds. It's going to be first and goal at about the 1.5-yard line. He goes out at the 3. There's a 22-yard run.
And a personal foul, late hit coming up as well as the flag flies. They're going to mark it half the distance to the goal. Take a look here as McRae sees a great hole, and he's got great vertical speed. Doesn't move that ball around a lot, keeps the eagle claw on it, so it's not going anywhere. Tiptoes down the line, and yeah, he's hit a good 5 yards out of bounds. We did not get our Pier 49 pizza before the game, and it's sitting down there.
What?
I know. I'm very upset about it.
It's sitting down there within the greasy claw range of our producers, technical directors, and or other unwashed masses that are in that trailer.
Yes, I'm very jealous because it is fantastic.
You said it, buddy. Boy, Goddard's tripped up. I wonder if one of his linemen stepped on his foot.
You're not going anywhere if those kids are stepping on your foot.
Loss of 2. Let's take a look. Yep.
When your big number 70 center steps on you, that's Chandler Butler, 275 pounds. The only way you're going is a dislocated ankle if you keep running too hard.
Too many men on the field for Maple Mountain as they run the ball, and it doesn't matter. Into the end zone for a touchdown of the Bobcats. It's Anderson.
Well, if you're wondering, the mercy rule does not kick in until it's a 35-point lead with the potential point after making it 34. Won't run yet, but there's a touchdown by Anderson. That's no-nonsense football. Just get up in your face and smack you.
Now the kick's up and good. It's 34-0 with 8:49 to play in the ball game. Skyview on cruise control.
Jury duty.
You're happy about that.
It's right next to that little pub with those amazing cheeseburgers.
Like these?
Did you guys have jury duty?
Wendy's.
The new pretzel bacon cheeseburger, specially crafted by Wendy's.
Oh, that's better.
Well, Skyview takes the opening kickoff of the second half and marches right downfield. And here's the key play. McRae, the sophomore, Lots of sophomores. They're going to be around for a couple more years for Skyview. You're going to hear their names a lot. And then tack on the late hit right there. A couple plays later, the Bobcats were in the end zone.
You know, it's not like it would have made a big difference with that late hit because they were so close to the goal line anyway. But still, you got to know where you are and be cognizant of your surroundings. You know, you're 5 yards out of bounds. Clark perfect on point after attempts. 4 last week and he's hit them every one of them this week, plus a long field goal.
Plus 2 field goals tonight.
2 field goals.
42-yarder and a shorter one. This one into the end zone and Maple Mountain. They're bringing him back like they're going to make him kick it again. I don't see a flag. Maybe the officials weren't ready yet. The ref's reservation isn't until 9:30. This game might get over before then. So we're going to kick that again. You see the Maple Mountain coaching staff. They're talking to the officials, and they're trying to get something going. Anything tonight. It just has not gone the way that the Golden Eagles would have liked. Again, they played Woods Cross last week, put up 21 points on them, ended up losing 33-21, and mostly because of turnovers. And you like to think you're most...
What is going on here?
They stop them again? What's going on?
Psych. At least they stopped this time. The ball's still on the tee.
Yeah. You'd like to think, you know, as a coaching staff, and you hear it all the time, the conventional wisdom is you're going to get the most improvement from between week 1 to week 2. And Skyview's looked pretty good.
Same result. Touchback.
Yeah, see, we could have just all done that again. We could have just gone right on and had the same results. Just like fighting with your wife.
45 seconds of my life right there. Never going to get it back.
But you know, being around this program a little bit this week and today, and talking to these Skyview coaches and people around the program, there's a lot of excitement about the Bobcats this year. And you know, they start with a loss, but a lot of excitement after a loss because of the opponent.
Yeah, rightly so to be excited. A lot of talent on this team, pretty deep, and young players coming up who are contributing right now.
Hall in trouble, steps out of it, dumps it off, has a man with some running room. It's Williams, and Williams is out across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Boy, and that play was all Jaron Hall because he had pressure coming from all sides and does a great job feeling the pressure, stepping up and making a nice pass.
Williams, 4 catches, 30 yards for Maple Mountain. That's their longest play of the game, Lee, 16 yards. Connor Ellis in the backfield with Hall. And people jumping all over the place. Is it on the offense or the defense? Not many penalties in this game.
It's got to be on the offense. That was number 57. Jackson Shinnicky.
3 penalties, 15 yards on the Golden Eagles. Skyview, meanwhile, 4 penalties and about 17 yards. Because of that late hit, it was half the distance to the goal from the 3. 2 penalties on Skyview for 25 yards. Here's the give to Ellis, and there's nothing to the outside. Whoa. They try to bounce out to the outside. They cannot get to the outside.
This is the quickest defense I've ever seen for Skyview, honestly, in this game so far. How long you and I have been doing this for the Valley Channel? You're a year longer than me.
I don't know. I lost track.
Got to be pushing a decade.
Cut me open and count the rings. Probably getting pretty close to that, yeah. Hall loads up, back the other way. He's got a man. Touchdown, Maple Mountain. 69 yards as they go back the other way. Hall to Dixon. Maple Mountain on the board.
That was just a great pass, a great executed play, and pass was right on the money. Karen Hall scrambles out, looking downfield the whole way, keeping his eyes downfield is fantastic, and he just floats this ball up. That is a perfect pass right into the outstretched arms of Dixon in stride, and there's no chance of catching him.
Yeah, he got behind the defender, and that's the first time they've really gone downfield. And the difference was, I think they wanted to go downfield. Hall hasn't had time. And that time they moved him out of the pocket, and he went back the other way against the grain. Defense had the pursuit, and it's 34-7 as Maple Mountain's on the board.
And that's the difference between us and say a chain that they'll hire anybody off the street, and doesn't matter. And not that that's so bad, but here we're trying to give as personalized service as you can, as informed as you can possibly be, and help the individual in their selection of eyewear.
Yeah, that's a great benefit. I don't see how you can put a price tag on that.
Well,
awesome.
That's probably right.
Well, biggest play of the night for either team, 69 yards. Hall to Dixon.
Boy, and after last week's Logan Northridge game, we're in kind of an explosives drought. There's the first real explosive play of the game.
McRae takes this on the hoppers at 5. Let's see. He's out to the 26-yard line. You are right. We're watching some of the other games of interest, and we're going to see Mountain Crest next week against Syracuse. Syracuse, a 5A player. They're a team that was played in the championship game last year, and usually in the mix in tough Region 1 against a Mountain Crest team that lost a lot of key players, and they're struggling again tonight at American Fork. They were down 28-7 at the half. Box Elder winning their game against Layton. Layton not a bad 5A team either, and same region as Syracuse, Region 1. This one goes wide of the mark.
Dodgers pass intended for number 6, Christian Clark. Incomplete. Coverage on the play.
Well, I don't know where the Skyview kids hang out. I don't know where the Regal Beagle is here in Smithfield or North Logan that these guys like to hang out at, but wherever they like to hang out, Braxton Goddard probably ought to buy his lineman a drink tonight, because I don't think he's touched the ground. Fife on that end around. They ran this on the last possession and got good yardage, and they get 15 yards that time.
Well, I know at lunchtime they like to hang out at the local grocery store and buy chicken strips.
Is that it? Is that where they go?
A lot of them.
Well, all the kids, there's a certain place you hang out. When I was in high school, the Logan kids hung out at A&W, and the Skyview kids kind of hung out more at this end, and the Mountain Crest kids milked their cows. And here's Evans on the end around the other way. A little fly sweep, and he picks up 7.
With a cushion like this, 34-7 and 6:55 to go in the third quarter, Coach Ander and Coach Christensen have the opportunity to try a lot of plays. We haven't really seen those sweeps. Now they're trying some new stuff out. This is why you play these non-region games. Nice block.
Yeah, they threw the little screen out there. The comeback, almost not quite the tunnel screen to Ryan Martin, and Martin picks up good yardage.
Good block by Downs, who's out there on almost the sideline.
15 yards. Martin, 2 catches, 27 yards. Again, 4 wide receivers for Logan. We're going to give it to Anderson. Anderson picks up 3. Nothing fancy. Skyview, same type of rhythm they had on their last drive. They're just picking up a little bit of a rhythm, getting going here. Nothing fancy, just efficient and down the field. Take care of the ball, keep the clock running, get out of here and get ready for your game next week.
Where do they play next week? Do you know? I don't know.
Well, I'd have to look it up.
All right. Thank goodness for Al Gore's interweb. Oh, that's a nice play fake.
Goddard around the corner. Pushed out of bounds down near the 20-yard line. That's where they spot him out.
He got that linebacker on the outside to bite on the fake to Anderson, and by then Goddard is gone.
12 yards for Goddard. He's got 5 carries for 26 yards. Skyview's at Minico, Idaho next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of out-of-state games this week, too, I think.
Stopping and waiting for an opening is the running back. I think that's Smith, and he picks up close to first down yardage. He picks up 9. Is that McCray?
Yep, that was 28 McCray.
You are correct. You are correct, sir.
Getting a little harder to see those dark numbers now. The sun's gone down and the lights are on.
Goddard's is going to keep on 3rd and 1, and he gets about 3. Close to 4. 29 yards on 6 carries now for Goddard.
You're right, Skyview very methodical, and this is exactly what Coach Ander wanted to do, is put together some sustained drives.
Under 4.5 to play in the 3rd period. Skyview scored 28 last week at Timpview. They've put up 34 so far tonight, and there's over a quarter left to play, and they're in scoring position again. A little throwback on the little screen again. This one in for a touchdown. Is that Fife?
I think it was. He just ran over the defender.
12 yards out.
That was number 8.
So that'd be Logan Miller.
Yeah.
Let's take another look and we'll see who it is.
Sure is number 8.
12 yards and a touchdown for Miller. 40 yards, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and 4 touchdown throws for Goddard. The PAT, no good. 40-7. Skyview answers the touchdown. Wait, there's a flag on the field. Let's not go anywhere.
It's going to be either a late hit or a roughing the kicker. I didn't see which one of the guys in blue that was nailed. Might have been the holder.
Yeah, it's roughing the kicker.
Yep.
Yeah, if you go for 2 and get to 42-7, you got that running clock. I don't know that
I don't think Coach Ander wants that. I think he likes having all these opportunities to run plays.
This is like practice for a coach now.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about a player of the game. Next quarter, we'll start thinking about it. I got a coupon in my back pocket from Angie's to clean the sink and Wendy's for some delicious.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you name me the player of the game? I'll stop at Wendy's on the way home.
Oh, no.
So they're going to kick it again after the penalty. They missed the first time. This time They put it right through. 41-7 with 4:05 to play in the third period. It's all Skyview in Smithfield. Well, Skyview, the last two possessions, just methodically downfield.
Look at this extra effort from Miller. Boom. That was great breakdown position by the defensive back. This guy got runned over.
And it's 41-7 with 4:05 to play. A successful home debut for the Bobcats. Again, a lot of anticipation and excitement over this team. The locals wanted to see them because they showed very well against a very good Timpview team. Pat Timpview could have won that game. This one into the end zone, and Maple Mountain will start at their own 20. We've been watching that Timpview score too. They've trailed that whole game. They were behind by 6 at the half to Pleasant Grove. Again, Mountain Crest was down big at halftime. Really, Box Elder was beating Layton at the half. Looking through the scores, not any that are real shockers. And Logan already won this week. They're 2-0.
Against two tough teams, Northridge and Cottonwood.
The offense did the job in the first game against Northridge, and it was the defense against Cottonwood. Hall steps in now, bails out, looks underneath, and just throws it away.
Maple Mountain did a good job picking up the middle blitz there, but couldn't really block on the edge. A little too many guys to block, and Jaron Hall's running for his life.
Hall hasn't had much time to throw the football. That's for sure. Now they run the pitch back to Connor Ellis. And they can't get to the edge. They can try the pitch, they can try to get him on the run. And Skyview is just coming up and shutting that thing off. And it's a loss of 5 for Ellis.
Is tackle number 4, Henry. Loss of 5 on the play. 3rd and 15.
Third and 15 now for Maple Mountain. They're 0 for on 3rd down in this game. Hall finds his man. It's Dixon. Dixon advances it up to the 25-yard line, but he needed the 30. 10-yard gain. Maple Mountain will have to punt.
It's a good play, and Jaron Hall throws a great ball when he has some time, and just hasn't had time tonight. Skyview's front seven doing a great job of keeping pressure on him all night long.
McRae and Fife are back for Skyview. Wood standing in his own 11. And they run into him, and no flag. They said he was. They
so
just kind of
the ball.
Yeah, they just either tipped the ball or fell into him. Yeah, the official looked like that's what he was saying. Huh? Well, Skyview will start at the 44-yard line. See if that starting offense stays in there, and it looks like they will with 2:28 to play in the 3rd.
Well, we'll start to see more Skyview kids, especially if they put another score on the board, come into the game, get some playing time. That's really how you build for the future. It's one thing Logan is really good at. When they get a lead, they're not afraid to substitute in and out.
You see that sometimes, especially at lower levels. If we get a sophomore team, that coaches will keep those players in there the whole time, and it's a blowout. And if I'm the head coach, I'm taking that sophomore coach aside and saying, you get these kids some reps, because part of that is that there's a lot of attrition in football. You can have a sophomore team. I was talking to a coach from a large program down Salt Lake way, and they had a sophomore team that had 72 kids on it 2 years ago. This year they're all seniors. There's 18 kids left. And that's in a good program. Kids find other things to do. Kids get discouraged because, maybe they're not playing as much because there's 72 kids. And so, that's a chance to get kids time on the field.
That's how you build a tradition and a winning program. Is get as much playing time and real game time, which you cannot simulate on the practice field.
No, you can't. And it's a big jump going from JV to varsity, and the speed. It's a jump every level. Huge jump from high school to college. And Fife in motion, now back the other way.
Timeout Skyview. Didn't quite have their ducks in a row.
1:15.
Talk about it. Sorry.
1:15. Playing the third. Sorry, I'm jumping all over it.
No, there's Coach Anders still coaching away, and all the assistant coaches with their heads in there too.
You got to look at those helmets you were talking about. That Boise State with the one with the big logo. There you go, the big logo on the one side a couple years ago. And
I guess I'm just a traditionalist. I guess I love Alabama's helmets. I love Penn State's helmets. I like UCLA's helmets without the UCLA on it.
Oh, I was teasing Coach Ander. He and I go a long way back, and I said, "Jeez, what happened? You guys run out of gold paint out there? You look too much like the San Diego Chargers. You don't want to do that."
What did he say?
I said, "What'd you do? Lose the varsity helmets and have to bring those up from JV?" And
they did look like practice helmets, didn't they?
Well, because you couldn't see the logo on the other side. He said, "Hey, those are good-looking helmets." They're just kind of ribbing him a little bit.
I'll just apologize to Coach Ander right now then.
It doesn't matter. I don't think he cares whether you like the helmets.
He doesn't. But I have a microphone and he doesn't.
And that's been a problem, really.
That's been a problem.
Coach Anders out there talking about something. It's going to be third and super short. I don't know if they want a measurement or what, but now both Ander and Christensen come back to the sidelines, kind of chuckling.
Smiling. Well, that's a great extra effort.
A little bit of a breeze picking up here in Smithfield, and Drake Oldham is at 15. He picks up the first down. 5 of 9 on third downs for Skyview after that conversion. And you're under a minute to play in the third period. We give it to Oldham again.
Really impressed with the offensive line of Skyview, especially in pass protection, but I think they're gelling even more in the second half in the run block.
Game is good for a couple. 2nd and 8.
Now there was a little bit of a worry about some injuries early in the first half, but I don't see anybody in the MASH unit down there, and there's a flag.
Somebody move.
Motion on Skyview. Third penalty of the game on Skyview.
Gonna back him up 5 yards.
Illegal procedure against the Bobcats. 5-yard penalty. They beat the down.
Illegal procedure. And the Bobcats will have to work with a 2nd and 13. See if Skyview runs a play. They're under 15 seconds to play here in the third period.
They're trying.
The Maple Mountain defense shifted right before the snap. And it's complete. From Goddard out there to Is that Miller, number 8? Looks like it.
Yeah, it is. Runs the same way. He doesn't worry about the defender. I'm just running. That's my spot, and I'm going to it. I like the way that kid runs.
That play was the end of the third period. All Skyview as they lead Maple Mountain 41-7 as we head to the fourth.
We were ready to buy a new car, which as retired people we really couldn't afford.
So he did the technical aspect of it. The engine light had been on for the last year or so, and he took care of that. And when that was done, then he started doing the mechanic part of it, the intuitive part.
I've had my mom come out. She's brought her car out, and he's fixed her car. He actually redid her whole engine because her timing belt broke. So he fixed hers, and it was reasonable, and he's very nice. And if you have a question, you can call him, and he'll give you advice on the phone.
My slogan is honest service at a fair price.
Well, someone very concerned there, but it's got to be about something other than the game because there's not much to worry about if you're a Bobcats fan. 41-7 as we start the fourth quarter, and it's 3rd and 1 with the Bobcats deep in Maple Mountain territory again at the Golden Eagles 34.
Some people are just very dramatic. Mostly teenage girls.
You've had your share of those.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, you're down to your last one, huh? Is that why you smile so much more often?
Yeah, a little more relaxed.
Maple Mountain bringing all sorts of players. Oldham gets the first down. He picks up 4 yards, but Maple Mountain was bringing the house, part of the neighborhood, and the welcome wagon. Oldham running hard to pick up 4 yards. Is Dane Anderson done for the night as a running back? He plays linebacker for the defense. You may just want to sit him down for the evening with a 41-7 lead, not get a two-way player like that injured.
New quarterback.
I was going to say, we've got a new quarterback. Is it Beach? It is. He gives off to Oldham.
Another sophomore.
Picks up 9. So Goddard is done for the night. Beach, a sophomore. His dad, Doug Beach, used to be a kicker for Utah State. He's an administrator here in the Logan School District now. Talked to him before the game.
I think he's running around taking pictures down there.
He's out at Mount Logan Middle School, if I remember right. Here's the give to Oldham. He's got blockers in front of him. And he's hauled down inside the 10.
And Oldham had to slow down for his blockers there. You know, Tyler Downs, number 56, had great blocks, but he's played a lot of minutes tonight, both sides of the ball.
31 yards on 5 carries for Oldham.
Right at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
Skyview not really doing anything too fancy, just running the football. See if they keep feeding Oldham. Beach is going to keep it. Turns it inside. He's down inside the 5 to about the 4.
Garrison Beach on the keeper.
And he picks up about 4 yards. Just inside the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Bunch of new offensive linemen too. Looks like Durant's still in there, but Downs is out.
Beach is going to keep it. He faked the give, and then his running back just ran into it.
Running back just took it away. Oh no, he still had it. That was a pile of blue right there.
Oldham ran right up his back and knocked him down. It's going to be 3rd and goal. No gain.
You got to think at this point, even Mapleview is hoping to kick a field goal so the clock will run.
Maple Mountain.
Maple Mountain.